I just saw episode 6 of Star Wars Skeleton Crew, and I will say that once again, I think the series is really, really good. I think Star Wars Skeleton Crew has held up being an entertaining adventure show about these kids and their grand epic adventure through the Star Wars galaxy trying to get home to the planet Aden. And I really liked this episode. They spent enough time, I think, on both sides. You had, of course, with the turn of Jed's character, or Jude Law's character, Crimson Jack. You had him turn at the end of episode 5. And so they followed that up with what he's been doing, his scheming and whatever. But they also separated the heroes, the 4 people that we were following, the 4 kids. You had Neil and Fern on one team, and KB and Wim on another team. And both of them learned to, well, they both learned something to help each other. I really liked what they did with this episode, letting there be a lot of action and excitement, but also having quite a bit of time where it was just, you know, not hanging out, but things slowing down a bit. Like, for example, I like the concept of KB's thing getting corroded, and she basically needs to get it rewired every now and then. And I think that's an interesting concept in Star Wars. And I think that did a good job of slowing down the pacing while not feeling like a pointless side quest. My only question is why didn't it come up earlier? But as I explain, you know, this is something that happened after her accident. And the reason probably why it didn't come up earlier was, well, one, kind of plot convenience, but also because it takes a while for things to get corroded and wear out. So I thought it was really good, and I like how it was kind of like a setup in the episode. Like, it happened a little bit, then we move on, you know, we just keep going, and then it happened, like, again, and then it's a big danger. I thought they did a good job with that. Now, I will say this episode was directed by Bryce Dallas Howard, and she's familiar to me from the Jurassic World series and Argyle. I've seen her in all those films. And I haven't actually checked out a lot of her movies or shows that she's directed, but I know she's done quite a few for Star Wars. And I would say she did a great job. This episode felt like it fit in. What I really like about Skeleton Crew is I still have no full idea of what's going to happen by the finale. I mean, of course, our heroes are going to get to Aden, but what's going to happen? Because now you have the setup with Crimson Jack and all these pirates. You have the children are just hoping they're going to the right coordinates. Is there going to have to be a war? They kind of set up the concept of Wim using a lightsaber, so is that going to be picked up on in another episode? But now Crimson Jack has a lightsaber. I'm honestly really excited to figure out what's going on. I didn't feel the same way with the Acolyte. Like, sure, the Acolyte I kind of did, but, like, I don't finish an episode of Skeleton Crew, like, depressed and irritated. I finish every episode being excited and like, this is really good. And I honestly really hope the ratings are good for this show because Star Wars needs to head in this direction. It's okay to have a project that isn't in the Skywalker saga and you can make a good project. You know, like, this is a really good series. It's not perfect. And I think it does have the normal flaws of a limited TV series or a TV series in general. But I do find myself coming back every week and being like, okay, I want to see what goes on here. I'm really enjoying myself, and I'm really excited to see how it closes with the final 2 episodes coming next week and the week after that. And that will be a great way to start Star Wars for the new year. I hope so. But thank you guys for listening to my Skeleton Crew Episode 6 review. I will be back with more videos within the new year, and thank you for watching.